Delivering credible, reliable, acceptable and verifiable population and housing figure is the key objective of the trial census. The ongoing dress rehearsal by the National Population Commission is expected to provide a good foundation for the smooth conduct of the 2023 census. The trial census, which began on the 13th of July, is on course in selected local council areas nationwide, with facilitators, supervisors, and enumerators working according to the program schedule. With the progressing exercise in Borno having peculiar challenges of insecurity and varying difficult geographical terrain, how is the journey so far? How will the trial census impact on the outcomes of the forthcoming census in 2023? This is our focus this afternoon on Panorama from the studios of NTA Maiduguri. I am Abubakar Musa. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says the federal government has given... Okay, I think I'll have to take that again. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says the federal government has given approval for the reform initiative for the Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria, APCON. The minister announced this at the 49th Annual General Meeting of the Association of Advertising Agencies of Nigeria in Lagos. Anthony Forson completes the story.
In his paper titled The New World Order, Lai Mohammed disclosed that the reform initiative is to strengthen the advertising ecosystem, encourage inclusiveness, as well as attract investment to the industry.
My presence here underscores the vital role and status of the advertising industry to our economy, to our creative industries, and to the government's efforts at providing the enabling environment and regulatory tools necessary for sustained growth in every productive sector of the economy. We believe professional bodies such as the AAAN need the vital support of the government to be able to proffer the best, most effective, and unique solutions for the unique challenges that confront our nation in these very difficult times.
And as the world, he noted, is rapidly changing in its dynamics of opportunities and risks, relating with consumers in a data environment will bring brand consumers closer.
The same factors that have made this the best time for the economic exploitation of the creative sector are the same factors that have also created a great deal of competition. There's also this new opportunity of talking directly with consumers in a data-enabled environment that has taken brands and entrepreneurs closer to their consumers more than ever.
I can tell you and testify today that behind the scene, the Honorable Minister has worked tirelessly for our industry in support of some of our policies. Right now we have the APCON law in almost the final stages, and he has been single-handedly instrumental in making sure that that law sees the light of day. So, Honorable Minister, Sir, Your Excellency, I think you've done us proud, and you've supported us in more ways than one, and we look forward to more support coming from your ministry.
The minister was accompanied by APCON Registrar and Chief Executive Officer Olalekan Fadolapo and the Director General NTDC, Olorun Shokoka. In Lagos, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
African Development Bank Group, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, has given strong assurance to U.S. investors that Africa is a secured, competitive and profitable market for investment. Adesina was speaking at the US-Africa Business Summit in Marrakesh, where he told American investors to see Africa as a logical investment destination and to engage with the continent in win-win partnerships. Justin Ben-Uni completes the report.
Africa is ready. The US is ready. Let us turn conversations into commitments. Let us turn commitments into investments.
More than 400 business and government representatives hinged discussions on building stronger US and Africa trade, investment and commercial ties as the US Corporate Council on Africa partnered with Morocco to organize the summit under the theme Building Forward Together. The event presented an opportunity for the African Development Bank's head to bear his mind that despite the disruptions of the COVID-19 pandemic and its impact on economies, the number of private equity deals in Africa increased from 230 in 2019 to 255 by 2020.
Africa, ladies and gentlemen, therefore offers a very profitable investment destination. Savvy investors know.
The AFDB president invited American businesses to invest in the opportunities created by the African Development Bank Group's $1.5 billion African Emergency Food Production Facility, designed to ease the impact of the current global food crisis worsened by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Justin Ben-Uni, NTA News.
Here in Nigeria from Marrakesh, the federal government has reiterated commitment towards developing a harmonized national identification system for national development. The pledge was made when a delegation of the Nigeria Digital Identification for Development Project visited the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Mitari Ipe will now tell us more.
More than 13 public institutions independently provide various forms of identification services which are yet to be harmonized. But most Nigerians want a national database that would properly aggregate and keep accurate data of citizens. The World Bank's Digital Identification for Development project supports 49 countries, including Nigeria, with counterpart funding towards achieving digital identification and civil registration ecosystems. The Nigerian office is working with NIMC and the National Population Commission to digitize and harmonize all civil registrations in the country,
including digitizing the registration of births and deaths, capacity building, and a review of their legal and institutional frameworks. We appeal to the SGF to please help to open doors of all relevant public institutions for the project. This introduction will not only strengthen the project stakeholders' engagement, but will induce high-level buy-in on the project and its goals.
The delegation is assured of the federal government's support towards the realization of the project.
We cannot use the identification cards beyond the immediate domains of where they were created. But Nigeria needs to go beyond this. When you hold a national ID, you should be able to use it across board.
A unified national identification system is expected to help mitigate insecurity, enhance ease of doing business, as well as access to social services. In Abuja, Mitari Ikben, NTA News.
A week to the completion of the trial census, National Population Commission, Borno State, is making concerted efforts to ensure success of the exercise despite an attempted attack last Tuesday on Gala local government, one of the council areas selected for the dress rehearsal. The NPC, Borno State, says safety of staff and completion of the trial census remain key priorities. Here is an update on the exercise.
The trial census is a gateway and preparatory ground for a successful 2023 National Population and Housing Census, coming 16 years after the last exercise. Here in Borno, the NPC and other stakeholders placed all hands on deck to ensure a seamless trial census, taking into consideration security concerns and other challenges, especially terrain.
It was a hitch-free exercise both in Biu, Haul and Chibok. These are some of the areas I visited, and from the look of things now,
officials of the National Population Commission, Borno State, led by the Federal Commissioner, Isa Audu Buratai, have been working assiduously in ensuring success of the trial census across 9 local governments of Borno since commencement of the exercise on 13th July this year, towards meeting deadline of completion, which is 30th July 2022.
Doing so good. Alhamdulillah, all is going well. We are having a maximum cooperation from the NPC and the households, the family, and everything is okay so far.
We are thankful because they are very, very cooperative. They cooperate with whatever we ask them. It was perfect. They are very, very aware of the census, trial census.
We are doing well. They are so excited, happy, and rest. We are happy too.
The exercise, which is currently in its 3rd stage that has to do with persons enumeration, can best be described as a success story following the overall cooperation being given to enumerators by residents. The NPC, Borno State, is now looking forward to moving to the next stage of the trial census, which is going to be a mop-up exercise.
Now, taking place nationwide is the detailed and comprehensive test of the upcoming 2023 census. The dress rehearsal encompasses logistical management, questionnaire design, format and administration, field work, data processing, tabulation, as well as analysis, among other activities. With me in the studio to discuss the ongoing trial census exercise is the Federal Commissioner, National Population Commission for Borno State, Isa Audu Buratai. Sir, we're glad to have you in our studio this afternoon.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And I must confess there is no better time to have you in the studio than now because of what we are about to discuss.
Yeah,
let's now get down to the main business of the day. Based on the trial census schedule, by now the exercise has gone a significant length. How has it been so far with the modern tools used by the National Population Commission?
Now, thank you very much. The trial census was supposed to take place in 4 stages within the time frame of 10 to 15 days. First stage was supposed to be the verification and house listing. The second stage is the validation. The third stage is the persons enumeration, where field workers are expected to go to houses and enumerate the persons found physically present in the houses, and in the process ask questions. The answers to these questions will form part of our data that the government will use in planning and development. And the final stage is actually the what we call mop-up census. The idea is to mop up those areas that for one reason or the other we are not able to capture them during the exercise. These are the 4 stages. And in Borno State, we are happy to gone well.
Right.
We are satisfied. We've gone around to monitor the exercise, and we are satisfied with the exercise so far.
All right, it's good to hear that. Okay, Federal Commissioner, considering the peculiarities of Borno State, especially the security and varying geographical terrain, how have you been able to surmount all these challenges?
Well, first of all, we must thank the military. We work hand in hand with the theater command here in Borno State. They gave us the security cover, and we were able to move from locality to locality. Not for this trial census, but we started about 2 years ago. You could recall we demarcated almost all the local government areas in Borno State except Abadan, and of course some other localities that we could not access due to the insurgency. But on the whole, we have demarcated about 26 local government areas, and it's still going on. And we were able to do that with the support of the military. They gave us the security cover, and we moved to all the localities. We must thank the governor of Borno State also, Professor Babagana Umar Azulu. He gave us the logistic support. He directed the local government chairman to give our field functionaries all the desired support, accommodation, feeding. We also enjoy the support of the traditional rulers, the Sheikh of Borno, all the emirs. They were at hand to support our field functionaries, and they felt at home. They gave us a guide to assist our field functionaries. I must also commend the communities themselves. They did well. No one wanted, they didn't want to be left out of the process, and they mobilized themselves to give support to our field functionaries. And above all, I must thank the Almighty Allah for their protection. We've not recorded a single death despite witnessing several attacks across the state in the last 2 to 3 years that we carried out the EAD exercise, the first pre-test, the second pre-test, and the trial census now that is going on. So we thank Almighty Allah for that. So far in Borno State, so good. And we must thank the governor, we must thank the traditional rulers, and the communities themselves.
That goes to show that you've done your homework very well.
That is it. That's it.
That's interesting, I must say. Now, Federal Commissioner, how much support is the NPC receiving from stakeholders, government officials, and communities where the dress rehearsal is taking place?
Like I said, we've received the maximum support from the military. The governor also supported us, and his support he has always been at hand to support the National Population Commission. He directed all the local government chairmen of Borno State to give us maximum cooperation, without which we wouldn't have gone anywhere. The traditional rulers accommodate most of the field functionaries in all the local government areas. Since we started the EAD, the communities also have done their best. So with that, we were able to succeed because of the support we received from the stakeholders. And we must thank the governor in particular for his cooperation and support to the National Population Commission.
Okay, we seem to be running out of time, Federal Commissioner, but I think we just have to take this last question. So in a nutshell, what do you envisage as outcome of this smooth and seamless trial census?
Well, we expect to perfect the processes of the real census. This is, as rightly observed, is a dress rehearsal to make sure that everything works fine during the actual census. So far, we have been able to test our maps, we'll be able to test our instruments, we've been able to test even the logistic support we're receiving, we've been able to test the performance of our field functionaries. We'll be able to assess the support we've received from the government, the local government chairman, the traditional rulers, and also these communities. So, with what we are observing and the outcome of this trial census, we're happy to inform Nigerians that we are good to go come 2023 when we would conduct the actual census.
Commissioner, we would like to appreciate you for telling Nigerians how far you've gone with regards to the trial census in Borno State. We appreciate you once again for being part of Panorama this afternoon. Federal Commissioner, National Population Commission, Borno State, Isa Auduburate. If you're just joining us, you're on to Panorama on the largest television network in Africa, the NTA. Let's take a break now. More stories for you shortly. Panorama. Let's move on now. Nigerian farmers are raising concerns over the recent situation as it affects food demand and supply. Consequently, rice farmers have signed a memorandum of understanding with international with a view to increasing production to meet local and regional demands. Musa Ali completes the story.
Nigerian farmers are making effort to boost food production to meet the country's demand of staple food as the world faces distribution challenges due to the Russian-Ukraine war. This is further aggravated by communal clashes, banditry, and other environmental factors in other parts of the country. To this end, farmers under the Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria have signed a memorandum of understanding with some international organizations with a view to boosting their production.
By the time Nigeria gets it right, we all know that the whole of West Africa and Africa gets it right. And that is why Syngenta concentrated on giving us a helping hand to see how we can maintain the successes we have achieved in the area of food security.
Farmers will be trained on smart agriculture, which will boost rice production not only for local consumption but for markets across West Africa.
It provides them a greater appreciation of the technical issues associated with water resource management, pest and weed control, and optimizing the potential for rice production in Nigeria.
The training taking place in Abuja also highlighted the need for not only Nigeria but West African countries to strategize and overcome overdependence on importation. Stakeholders say ECOWAS member countries can learn from the rice revolution of Nigeria.
We are here to really work with them and try to give substance to the program and the final touch of the design, the program collaborative efforts between these two organizations to truly implement the phase 2 of the rice revolution program of Nigeria.
This is the second capacity building workshop for rice farmers with a view to increasing yield. Musa Aliyu, NTA News.
Supporting farming activities has remained a top priority of Borno State government, especially in the post-insurgency recovery era, when IDPs are returning to their ancestral homes. In this report, Yagum Subukar examines effort by government towards revival of farming activities, especially with the rainy season picking up.
Major preoccupations of people of Borno has over the years been affected due to activities of Boko Haram insurgents, thereby causing setback to the sector. As peace takes roots, farmers are now back to the fields. How much support is Borno State government giving to farmers to ensure food sufficiency and security? With me to discuss more on this is the Borno State Commissioner for Agriculture, Ali Bunu Mustafa. To support farmers, especially returnees.
The Executive Governor of Borno State procured tractors to be distributed to 1,000 farmers on loan, which is on subsidized rate. And these farmers will work on their farm, then also rent out the tractors and pay back the money. And he has also procured seeds, high-yielding, improved variety, which are performing on low soil fertility and also at marginal moisture level. The optimum yield will be achieved.
Okay, sir. Now, in terms of security, what security measures have been put in place to ensure farmers are secured while working on their farmlands?
His Excellency has deployed these agro rangers to protect the farmers to work on their farms. So they are deployed to all locations in Borno State, and the farmers are now cultivating their lands in optimum peace.
Government and other stakeholders have remained steadfast in supporting farmers. It is hoped that bumper harvest is recorded this year in the state. It's back to you in the studio.
Very well, Yagum. So let's talk health now. World Health Organization and partners are sustaining enlightenment on causes and preventive measures as best ways to combat the escalation of COVID-19, cholera, and monkeypox, among other diseases of contemporary times across the state. It is against this backdrop that the World Health Organization flagged off a 30-day house-to-house awareness for residents of Bulunkutu, a densely populated community in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. Jedwa Chesni will now bring us more details.
The World Health Organization has over time sustained campaign on COVID-19 prevention through provision of personal preventive equipment to health institutions and other organizations. This time, the WHO is championing creation of awareness on the need for residents to be vaccinated, alongside maintaining a clean and hygienic environment to prevent outbreak of cholera and monkeypox, as recorded in other local governments of Borno State.
Of recent, we have other public health diseases that are also emerging, like monkeypox, which has been reported in 2 states of Bay States in the northeast, that's Adamawa and also in Borno. We would like to enhance the awareness in the states and beyond with regard to the prevention of epidemic-prone diseases in the area. At least the 30 community health champions that are available at the moment. They are working at around 4 LGAs, this including, of course, GRA, MMC, and also MAFA.
Residents of Bulunkutu-Sallake community appreciated WHO for the awareness and assured to put into practice what they learned.
Mutane suka nuna mun cewa lalle su ma suna goyen bayan wannan. Saboda duk abin da zai zamanto cewa zai kiyaye ka ne daga wani cuta. To gaskiya su ma suna son sa.
The sensitization campaign is expected to last for the next 30 days. In Maiduguri, Jadua, Jesni, NTA News.
And just before we leave you on Panorama, don't forget to always stand with the Nigerian Television Authority in winning the war against rape and rapists. Always be a star in that regard. And that is how it has been on Panorama from the studios of NTA Maiduguri this beautiful Sunday afternoon till we come your way again.